Hello and welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to Regina Young and Desire Boys Resource Center. So I'm still watching the information on coronavirus. And I just realized that we're going to talk about the state of New York first because that's one big thing that everybody's talking about. So New York has announced today, which is April the 14th, that there is about 4,000 people that I guess something about the death is over 10,000 people, but there are a lot of cases that were not counted. Here's what I think is the problem. I ain't going to tell y'all no lie. Now, I've been home off and on besides going out into the community, helping people and giving to people. But one thing that I noticed that there are a lot of places still partying. A lot of people are still partying. So how do you expect these deaths to go down and everything if you're still out partying? A lot of people are ordered to stay home, but they do not. I see, like, when you go to grocery stores, there is tons of people there. And there's nobody really in the grocery store to enforce the 6 feet. Even when I do events in the community, I constantly have to tell them, hey guys, separate, spread apart, because of the coronavirus. But you have to say it politely because you don't want to come off too harsh. But it's like, it's very, very hard to enforce it when you have tons of people in a house. Even they talk about churches. A lot of churches are now being smart. They're actually doing the church outside, and they're telling you to stay in your car and stuff, which I think is a great idea. I understand how a lot of people are big on Jesus Christ and their faith and everything. But at the same time, they also got to know that they have to keep their distance. So I know there's been a couple of churches that have got fined for having church and people sitting so close together like they sardines. And people have been going to the churches and getting coronavirus. So my question is, what are they really going to do? Because here you are, you have the state of New York. I'm not going to lie, I don't go there a lot, but I know a lot of people there. And I've talked to a lot of people. And it's very sad that a lot of people are dying up there. I think New York is actually the number one state as far as people dying. But New York is also known as the city that does not sleep. New York is where a lot of famous people go. New York is where a lot of people have been knowledge or really, really grow to be very popular. It's just overall in my world, sometimes I say New York is, if you want anything done or you want to blow up or get seen, New York is the place to go, because you got to think that's where Cardi B talks about a lot. I hear about, you talk about the Bronx, Jennifer Lopez. I mean, these are big places that people go to be seen. So New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, living in Delaware, those are the 3 states that I hear so much about. And then you have this meat factory that is in South Dakota, which is Smithfield, which is, where a lot of people get their hams for Easter. They shut it down due to the fact that they had so many cases of coronavirus. But from my understanding, South Dakota is not under a stay-at-home law. I could be wrong, so if I am, please let me know. If you live in South Dakota, let me know. But then you have all these nursing homes that have a lot of people that are dying, and the families are getting letters like saying, hi, your loved one has died, and the reason why they're dying is from coronavirus, because we're getting in a nursing home from experience. The people there, especially if they have dementia or something like that, they kind of wonder, they kind of go all over the place. They're touching everything. They do a lot of things that you would not think they do, but they do. I know that I've worked at numerous nursing homes, and they would urinate on the floor. They would cough. They would sneeze. They wipe their nose on stuff. They did all kind of stuff. So what are nursing homes doing to lower the people that are dying there? Because, I know you can't keep them in their room. I know they still got to have social skills and stuff like that. But, they got to find something. They got to figure out something, because it ain't going to be no need for a nursing home if everybody in the nursing home dies. And this is one reason why I say all the time, my mom, my dad, I used to say, y'all are definitely not going to a nursing home. Not knocking the nursing home, because people need to work and everything else, and it's a job. But I just feel like people have to go back to the old days. Like, if we would just stop and start going back to the old days, start growing your own vegetables, start cooking more at home, start cleaning your house with natural chemicals like vinegar and lemon, peroxide that people use, stuff like that. Maybe some of the germs and stuff wouldn't go down as much as they do. I remember being a little girl, my grandma used to put a little cap of bleach in the water when she washed the dishes. Anybody remember that? And I remember my grandma, when she used to get her bath, she used to put a cap of alcohol in her water to get a bath. And I used to say, I wonder why she does that. But it was because she was like germs, bacteria, and all that stuff. And I just remember the little things that she used to do. I remember her getting up in the morning, going out and in the pepper field and picking the tomatoes and bringing in the vegetables to cook. We didn't go to the grocery store for all that stuff. And I remember the boys or the men in the family going to like the lake and the pond and stuff and catching the fish and stuff. So my question is, what if we started actually going back to the way things were back in the days? I mean, I'm not saying go way back there to like when all the stuff was going on and women didn't have rights or slavery, stuff like that. But like going back, doing some of the things that we should be doing versus depending strictly on other countries to give us stuff. What if we open up the metal factories back in the United States and start doing our own metal, recycling our own metal? If United States people would just change some of their ways, the world might do better. Like, at the end of the day, this coronavirus, to me, I think it's a wake-up call. I think it's going to wake up a lot of people. They're going to start spending their money wisely. They're going to start investing more in their future. They're going to look at life totally different. And the sad thing is that so many people had to die over this. Like, I feel bad for the nurses and the doctors and the firefighters and the police officers and all of them, because they lay their lives down on the line all the time. I work in the medical field, and I can tell you now, even when I go out here in a community underneath our nonprofit organization, Regina Young and the Zy Boys Resource Center, and I'm feeding people, or I'm giving them brown bags, or I'm giving them lunches, or I'm giving them diapers and wipes and cotton and supplies so they can make it through the coronavirus times, my mind always wonders, who's going to help who? Who's going to stop this? How are we going to stop this? Yes, we can do a lot of things. A lot of people are wearing gloves. If you don't change the gloves, it doesn't benefit you to have them on. If you don't change your mask or wash your mask to clean it or have the shield that protects it correctly, you're wearing it in vain. There's like hospitals in them, they don't have gloves, they don't have masks, they don't have aprons, they don't have gowns. They don't have a lot of stuff to protect themselves, but yet they're involved with people that come in the hospital all the time that are sick. That's the sad thing. And the thing is, like, one day, my kids, they were in a car accident. I'm going to tell you this real quick. And they went to Milford Hospital in Milford, Delaware. My son and me got seen, and it was raining outside. And we had been in a car accident, so we came in on the paramedics. So we was waiting after we got discharged to get a ride to go home. And Milford Hospital told us that we had to stand outside and wait for someone to pick us out in the rain. So that's what we had to do, because they were pushing people out. The hospital staffs were so scared that they didn't care whether you were sick or injured or what had happened to you. They wanted you out of the hospital. After they seen you and realized that, you didn't have coronavirus, they were putting people out. It was a lady that had a baby, a newborn baby, and me and the security guard at the hospital was talking about. She had to put her out with her baby. And it's like, it's sad. So when does this end? What can people do to stop it? People, you have to stay home. You have to do the safety precautions. You have to stay 6 feet away. You got to wash your hands constantly. You got to make sure that you are doing what's best for you and your family, so you're not constantly spreading it. Like, comment below, tell me what you think. See what we can do to stop